Hello there, you're watching SME On Point, and this month of August we are celebrating amazing women and brilliant women who are doing very big things. We have in studio today, we have Noluthando Khambule. She's the author of Libo's Corner. This is a heartwarming children's book that teaches rural kids the basics of business through a fun and relatable story, from market day preparations to lessons in entrepreneurship. The story is inspiring a new generation of thinkers as well as hustlers. Noluthando is with us in studio. Welcome to SME On Point. Thank you so much for your time. As I said, you may as well could have just added an A and it would have been Diabo's Corner. Libo's Corner.
Version 2.
Version 2, please remember to do that for us. But this is interesting, you know, as a female that has decided to go into self-publishing. Tell me about your journey of writing this book. What were you trying to achieve? I know we're trying to bring up a generation of entrepreneurs. How does this book achieve that?
So Libo's Corner was born inside a development economics lecture.
Okay.
So they taught us a new definition of poverty that I had never heard of before.
Okay.
And they said poverty is not poor well-being, but rather the inability to pursue well-being.
Okay.
Due to the lack of resources. So then it was a call to action to say, without us capacitating and giving resources, we cannot bring about true upliftment from poverty.
Yes.
So we cannot ignore how to really change a generation. Anything else that's not upliftment is temporary relief. So Libo then acts as a resource to say, use this as a tool to pursue better well-being, and let children from all walks of life have an equal footing when it comes to the discussion of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Let them have an equal understanding, regardless of socio-economic backgrounds. Let's bridge the gap between the rural kid and the urban kid.
Yes.
So that's where the thought behind and the inspiration to write the book came from.
Before we even go into the contents of the book, which excite me, I want to talk about the journey of self-publishing. You know, we're speaking to amazing women, but we're also not blind to the fact and the challenges that female entrepreneurs like yourself currently face. Your journey of self-publishing, I've heard a lot of stories where people say it's tough. It's really tough. What was your journey like?
So this is 2 years. It's been a 2-year journey, and it's especially when you are not a writer. So I'm an economist. Yes. That's what I know. I just had an idea to write a children's book. So I was stepping into an environment that I had never heard of before.
Sure.
And when you talk, it's figures. It's let's change the book to sound like this. I remember one of the comments where there are too many names in the book. Use 2 names, and I thought to myself, but the thought process behind there's a story.
Yes,
you know, when I talk about village kids, I'm talking about a group. I'm talking about kids from all over. So I can't remove the names. And then you get to a point where you say, you know what? I sat with Wandi Lemzizi and Grace, who's the editor, and they said, let's go to the closest printing shop, and let's get a quote, and let's go forward, because every discussion we have, it's about changing what the book is meant to do. It's too simple. I once had a comment that said, it's too simple. Don't you think you're not challenging kids? And I said, these are kids who don't know these concepts.
Don't know the concepts to begin with.
I'm going for a lower level than simple. I want, if there was another level below this, I would go to that level.
Yes.
So self-publishing, it needs you to be steadfast in what you want to do. Otherwise, you will never go to the printing station.
Wow. Let's talk about the journey of schools, right? You see a lot of schools, especially your model cities, your private schools, they really put into their curriculum the issue of market day, entrepreneurship day. So we are starting to look at students or pupils who already have an idea by the time they go to university, by the time they go to high school. But then there's rural kids who perhaps in their curriculum has not been inculcated. How are you seeing this gap between these two children and what we are breeding as a society when we have unequal application of curriculum and these entrepreneurship standards?
So I was one of those kids who was privileged to go to schools where we had market days from grade 3 all the way up until I was in grade 9, which is high school. We had market days. So it was was shocking to me when I realized that there are kids who had never experienced market days. And even kids that do experience market days, the parents will say, no, I rush on a Friday to Krispy Kreme to buy a box.
Okay.
So there's no thought process behind, there's no build up.
Yes,
It's, I know it's an assignment, it's true. I want my child to submit an assignment. So it's not a mindset.
Yes.
And then you go to the rural kid who on market day is facing a socio-economic background of not even having the means to purchase. So now it becomes theory. I've heard that in rural schools, it's, do you know what marketing is? Okay, let's write that definition. They don't even get an opportunity to sell because the socio-economic background does not allow. So when we create, we are a country riddled with an inequality as it stands right now. So if the next generation also comes in with that gap, we will always face the social ills and the problems that we have. So unless we get children at an equal footing, it's a ticking time bomb for everyone.
Yeah, let's talk about why parents should buy this particular book and what it has, what is contained in it. Lessons.
So here we go through the foundations of businesses. We go through the how and the building, valuing the building process to a market day. So we teach children that there's a thought process, there's planning to be had, because this narrates a story. As much as it brings in the concepts of business fundamentals, it narrates a story. So we see Libo go into town, identify a mall, want to bring it into the rural areas, then understand, okay, maybe it can't be a mall, it must be a market day. So what goes into a market day? We see them identifying businesses in the community, knowing what is a need, what is a want, how do I choose my product, and how do I differentiate it, how do I market it, how do I prepare to go and sell. So children now understand, I can't just wake up and sell tomorrow. There's a thought process, there's planning, and they get to value that. And as parents, because we have matched this with tasks, so for every topic that's there, there's tasks that children can do. You can test for understanding. So say, okay, do you actually understand what packaging means? Do you understand what going to go and look for a supplier means? And you can get feedback on the spot and apply remedies immediately if your child does not understand. So it's more than just a book. It's a manual. It's a building block for your child. So I think that's the reason, and that's what sets Libo apart from the material that's there on entrepreneurship.
Those that have already bought the books, what feedback have you had so far? Are the kids getting it?
The kids are getting it, and the parents are saying, I'm part of the Libo kids too. Because now I'm being questioned whether I understand the concepts. So when we go into town and I tell them that Woolworths is a shop, they now say, no, why did you say Woolworths is a shop, but when we passed the Spaza, you didn't say it's a shop.
Is a shop.
So do you understand what a shop is? So I'm getting that interaction, that children are more aware of what businesses are, and that they come in all shapes and forms, but it's also a moment for the family to come together.
Noluthando, thank you so much. Noluthando Khambule is the author of Libo's Corner, a children's business book, very beautiful, interactive, lots of color. And I would encourage you to really reach out to her on social media and buy it for your child to see if it's something that they will not enjoy, and I think they will enjoy it. And that was your SME on Point for this week. We are profiling amazing women this month, and one of those was Noluthando Khambule, the author of Libo's Corner. And with that, please remember to support small businesses in your communities and authors, buy from them. And yes, let's make those rands and cents circulate. Goodbye.